Hey everyone, it's Amanda, and it's time for the July 2022 Q&A for Patreon. Let's see. Sorry I'm a little late. We're actually in Colorado right now on vacation. So I'm taking a quiet moment here. The window's open, and I apologize, but I forgot my pop filter. So if I blow on the mic too hard, it's going to not sound great. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first question. Ancient mystics, philosophers, and even scientists have suggested the possibility that the universe appears to be spherical, but that it's actually a 12-pointed star, aka a dodecahedron. What say you, sky friends? All right, let's check in on that. What I'm seeing at the moment doesn't look like a sphere or a dodecahedron. It's kind of, well, I don't want to say formless, because everything that is, looks like matter has some kind of form, but it's just not, it's not uniform. It's like if you drop blue dye into a glass of water and it just kind of spreads out. That's kind of what it's like. Not exactly. Let me see if I can change my perspective here. It's kind of like I've got the universe in this almost like a hologram, but I can it's like if you froze it into a block, and then you can turn the block all different kinds of ways. And I'm just seeing it from one side. Let me see if I can get around the other side and see if it looks different, because, I know something can look like a square on one side and it's a circle on the other and whatever. So let me look around. Well, okay. So there is a point, and it, if I was pressed to say, where did the universe start? I'd say at this point, because everything seems to spread out from there. It's like it starts at the point, and then it's, starts spreading out. But there is another section of it that comes out in a different direction, and it has 5 points, but the 5th point is in the middle. So there's it's not a 12 point. I don't know. From this perspective, it's 5 with the 5th point in the middle. Looks like a square. From this perspective. All right, let me change. It's kind of like a jack. Like the toys that you roll the dice and pick up jacks or whatever. And it may be a multi-dimensional jack. Like one side of the jack is coming out from our universe. The other side, maybe we can't see. I mean, I can see it from this perspective, but the other side has a different quality to it. I'm not sure what that represents, but I would say it neither looks like a sphere or a dodecahedron. It's just a flowy form from a pinpoint. Maybe that's what they're trying to say, that it's a pinpoint of material coming out from the other side of a different dimension or something like that. All right. Second question. Is it true that there's a spiritual balance, so that the more ascended you become, the more negative things will happen to you to balance that? I heard this in an interview with a walk-in, and I didn't agree with it. Doesn't seem to make sense to me. but let me just check, because I could be wrong. Okay, what they're saying is the balance, it's not true that it has to happen in one person. It's just a universal thing. So like, well, it's like anything, really. It's like a baby is born and somewhere someone dies. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way, but, Earth could ascend and we could all be, beautiful, loving, drop negative polarity from the planet. And somewhere, just based on timing, a star is dying and it explodes or whatever they do, implodes, whatever. So while they're saying the basic idea has merit, it's more of a balance in that it's like a birth and death of everything, a rise and fall of everything. Sorry, there's a lawnmower right outside the window. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. What's really funny is, like, they literally just mowed yesterday. I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway. Okay, so I think what they're trying to say is there may be a balance in the universe as far as something is created when something else is destroyed, sort of. But I'm not getting the idea that, like, you have to destroy something to create something new, because we're talking about different dimensions, different universes, and these, I'm just going to call it a portal. That point that I saw beginning our universe really was stuff spilling out from another universe into a different, what do I call it? I'm just going to call it space because that's what we call it, but I would say in the void, which is what I go to when I'm meditating. You just go to quiet, dark place where you can create. So I'm going to go with that. Okay. This was a question I missed last month because I think I was editing. I had finished before I saw the question. Anyway, any updates on the event? And then the second part is, would love to hear what's happening with the world politically, both in the States and internationally. All right, let's check on the event first. And I'm seeing, originally I saw the event as sort of this, I want to say wave, but this mass of energy that our planet is going to move through, but it looks like it's coming towards us when you look at energetically. If you look physically, you're probably not going to see anything. You may be able to measure some weird, changes in, whatever in space, but I originally saw it as a mass of energy that we're going to move through that's going to really change negative polarity. It's going to kind of change our perspective of it. Rather than it be a force working against positive polarity, it's more of a challenge, I guess. Challenges. Like, as a species, we begin to see negative polarity. There's that lawnmower again. Hold on. Well, I guess we're going to have to live with it. Anyway, it's like a perspective shift in the whole, everybody on Earth. And those who have been investigating the event and what it means for humanity are going to be more open to that perspective shift. And the ones who don't understand, haven't encountered any of this, will be a little confused. It's like all of a sudden things will seem different and they'll be like, why didn't I think of it that way before? Like, why did I think that? Which I think anybody listening to this has already been through that. Like, why was I like that back then? You feel like your own walk-in a way because your perspective has shifted. So, but I didn't ask when. Let's see. It's like it depends on things not just Earth related. It seems like, we're a part of a much, much bigger unfolding of something. And it doesn't have to happen at the right time, but we want it to be at a time that will be most beneficial. I'm not sure to what. To us, maybe? Or to the larger plan, which I cannot see all of right now. So I feel like it has to be timed just right for all the parts to lock together in the right way. I feel like, how in astrology, they'll say, oh, the new moon and such will be on, Tuesday. Well, you can feel it for like a whole week before that Tuesday, right? You start to feel the effects of it before, and you feel the effects of it after, and they start to fade. I feel like we're already in a stage where we're starting to feel the effects of that energy. And I feel like this is related to everything that's happened on the planet. Earlier today, I was thinking about how, all these political things are happening. Leaders are having to leave their country and put somebody else in charge because people are mobbing, angry about stuff, and other leaders are being replaced or resigning, and like Boris Johnson. And this morning I was thinking, yeah, but didn't this always happen? Haven't we always had this? But the information I'm getting is that this actually is part of that energy coming in already. And I do feel like all of our different cultures are just going to be revamped, restructured into an easier, less complex way of living and interacting with each other. Because right now we've got so many rules, and the way we have to bring up people in this area is totally different from the way you have to bring up children in this other area on the other side of the world. And it's like keeping us from coming together, which isn't the ultimate goal, is for us to realize, we're all, to become a human collective, which includes telepathy, which is fun. So, yeah, we're already seeing the effects of it. Politically, let's see. I feel like politically everyone is realizing that our elected leaders are not really representative of the way the majority of people live and who they are. And I feel like we're all everywhere in the world really wanting to have something different. We want somebody who understands, how we live. Not somebody who was brought up rich, never had to struggle a day in their life, never had to work very hard, was given everything, and then they're this elected official who makes rules based on how they live, which isn't reflective necessarily of the majority of people in that country or whatever. And we still do have a lot of corruption in countries everywhere. But I think there is, that energy is coming into all of our consciousness, collective consciousness. And it's saying, this isn't what we want. But that energy is also trying to influence us to be creative and loving in our rebellion against how things are right now. Because you know what? These systems have come into place over thousands and thousands of years. So it's going to take some creativity to come up with something better that will work, immediately. So that's, I think, what's going on with the whole world right now. I mean, the majority of us are wanting the change, but I think as light workers, we all need to be creative and inclusive and loving in our ideas of how to make this change. Because, we can burn everything to the ground and start over, or we can help each other and just get creative and do it ourselves. We don't need to affect our governments. We just need to do it ourselves in our communities, everywhere, everyone, create systems that are more helpful and more loving and more beneficial to everybody, not just a few or certain groups. So that's what's happening. We're having these ideas, and a lot of people who are not understanding what's going on are just angry, and they're lashing out. And it's our job, I feel it's my job to hold the feeling of peace and inclusiveness of everyone on the planet, and to hold a feeling that we are going to make a better way without burning everything to the ground, just being creative. What can you make out of this old thing? You can make something really cool out of this old thing. Let's repurpose all of our governments. Let's repurpose the earth. We're not doing some things right, so let's get creative. All right, that's all for now. I'm going to be putting up the August Q&A on Patreon and YouTube, so please post your questions, and I'll try to do all of them in the next Q&A. Much love. Bye.